Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's awake because that was a good sumptuous lunch by Prismi. Thank you, first of all, Prismi, for getting us all here, getting the right the right topics, the right agenda, and the crowd. And thank you, Mr. Maini and my co-panelists for having me here. So while we had Sidvi and Aditya Birla Group give us a bouquet of products, financial products that can cater to different needs of the industry, different needs of the SME, we unfortunately come with only one product. So we are very focused, we are very niche, and but we come with the Money Plus. So let me just run you a little bit through what IN does, the Indian Angel Network. It's really leveraging on the growth of the Indian entrepreneur ecosystem. You know, about 200 years ago, which is a bit of history, India was contributing 25% of world GDP. Post-colonialism and just the beginning of our socialistic era, we were contributing less than 2%. And in the last 2%, in the last 2 decades, that has again climbed, and it's climbing very, very rapidly to almost touching 20%. Today it is the third largest GDP contributor in the continent of Asia. So that is really what entrepreneurism, after it sort of liberalized in the country, has done. And that is the power of entrepreneurship that we can see very clearly, which is what we start leveraging. The public markets say the same thing. They're only second to the New York Stock Exchange. It is the largest among the emerging nations. And I think one of our biggest strengths is the large domestic market. Today when we get plans, we get about 200, 225 plans per month. And almost 85% to 90% of those plans are geared on leveraging the domestic market. So that is the power that the entrepreneurs today in the country are looking to leverage. Obviously, we were not in a downturn. We all know that. And we are climbing back very, very fast. So that entrepreneur wave, the robust growth, the kind of icons that the 2 decades of entrepreneurship has created, which has moved to getting different names that you can think of, from Mr. Narayan Murthy to Jerry Rao or Raman Roy or anybody. These are the new icons on which the new wave of entrepreneurship is being built. So what is venture creation is where we started thinking. Where do we plug in? So it starts from ideation. When you start thinking of doing an entrepreneurial venture, that is where you put the team together. The venture starts thinking of prototyping, getting the pilots done, figuring out what is required to get it commercialized. And then starts the deployment, moves on to the growth, scale up, and then of course expansion. But when you come to the growth and scale up, you have other alternate financing modes that you have. You have a bouquet of products that you just heard from Sidvi, you have a bouquet of products that you heard from Aditya Birla Group, you have a whole lot of other banks, you have different varieties of alternate financing. But what was happening is at the very early stage, when the entrepreneur was starting his journey, had got it all worked out, but doesn't know where to go for money. So he's used up all his savings, his family, friends, and fool's money, which we call the triple F money. Where does he go next? The banks are still not ready to give it. With due respect, Mr. Maini, but that's the experience that we hear all the time. So where do they go? Number one. Number two is they can get the money, but how is it utilized? Which is the best bank for the money? That's the second issue. Just getting the money is not enough. Very, very often we have seen in our own setup, entrepreneurs getting 2 crores, 3 crores going down the drain, nothing working out from it. But how can that same money be leveraged to get better results? So that is, because it's a very dangerous point. You've sort of invested a lot of your own money and you have to take it to the next level. That's a high risk scenario, both for yourself and if you have an investor, for him too. So that is where the angel investment started coming. And as the very name says, it is angelic because it is a money plus investment. It brings money, it brings a check, but together with that, it brings access to mentoring of experienced people who've been there and done that, who's created enterprises from zero and taken it to an exit, whether they've IPO'd, whether they've done whatever. They have seen the whole cycle. They've gone through the operational cycle, number one. Number two, they've made their own mistakes. They've taken their own 90-degree turns. They are there and they are wanting to really participate strategically in organizations. That, I think, is the difference between any other type of financing that we see. It is a money plus. And to add to that, they are very happy to open their networks wherever required. Whether they're customer references, whether they're team building, whether they are taking partnerships. And we really see a lot of this happening on the network. We see angels who've invested in their companies literally sit on the same side of the table as the entrepreneur when VC or bank discussions are happening. They literally hold the hand under the table and guide it through. So therefore it is angelic investment that comes in at a very early stage. They are willing to take a risk with you. That is where this money comes in. Just to give you an idea of where does angel investment fit in the entire cycle of the venture creation. As I said, angel investment really comes in at a very early stage, and it addresses this gap. Okay? So why do angels invest together? Why can't you just have one single investor? Why do you have to have a group of investors? It's purely a risk hedging exercise for the investor. Try and understand that. So investors themselves get a lot of deal flow. Let's assume there is a deal that needs a crore. Instead of him putting a crore in one deal and risking that entire money on one venture, they would be happier if they could invest in one company with 10 other investors and just risk 10 lakhs. So the entrepreneur still gets his money, but it's risk hedge for the investor, number one. Number two, the entrepreneur now has 10 people to go and ask for help, get mentoring, advice, whatever else is required. Okay? And third is that the entrepreneur then knows which way to go in terms of the next step. Because if you just rely on one person, it's just one person at the end of the day. Having 10 heads on the table is a very different asset that you can have in your own company. From the angel's perspective, this is a new asset in the asset class in their portfolio. So while they have FDs, mutual funds, real estate, whatever products the Birla Group may come up with in their mutual funds or whatever, this is a different asset class. It is the highest risk asset class in the portfolio of the HNI. Who are angels? That's what your point would be next. Is basically people who have seen the power of entrepreneurship. They've created their wealth from that asset, that venture. And they want to go back and invest that money and create wealth, create more ventures, help ventures, and take it forward. They do not, let me repeat myself because this question comes up to me very often. They do not want to become a CXO in your company. They very often don't even want to be on the board. They just want to be a satellite, helping and assisting wherever required. So interference is at its minimal, if at all. Okay? So today, just to give you, so there is a commitment of money, there's a commitment of time, there's domain expertise, there's networks getting leveraged, and there's constant mentoring happening. Just to give you a feel of who we are, as Mr. Maini said, we're India's first and largest business angel group across the nation and overseas. We today have 125 successful entrepreneurs. We have CEOs, we have VC funds, we have corporates who are focused on innovation, and all of them are leveraging their different networks and their competencies to help MSMEs. So companies like IBM are helping in piloting, companies VCs like Sequoia are joining hands, Google is coming in, and you have the likes of Sunil Munjal or Arvind Singhal from retail or Bobby Bedi from media or entertainment, and all of those sort of coming through. So that is the power that this network has tried to create. We did give a nationwide call last year twice over, and we got huge deal flow. We have constant deal flow coming. And interestingly, we did think initially when we started this to share with you, that we would see largely knowledge